What's going on? Back plugged in again with your boy the Prophet. Hey yo. So today, man, listen. So we got a special video for you guys, man. Another one of my Bleach discussions. If you haven't checked out none of my Bleach discussion videos before, up to thus far, I've done the strongest captains in Bleach, ranked from weakest to strongest. A Retsu Unohana discussion video and a Byakukuchi discussion video. You know, the link to my discussion series will be up top in the pin thing up there. But yeah, man, today we're gonna be talking about we're gonna be talking about this new Ichigo, how strong he would be in the canon of the manga, and the canon of the work of Bleach. And what goes into making him. So we're not gonna drop the intro today, man. We're gonna get right into it. So first of all, a lot of you, okay, so we'll just talk about the similarities. I'll talk about everything that I'm gonna say, and then I'll show you guys on the screen. So the first similarities that we see, actually I do need to move this up a little bit. Alright, so the first thing that we actually see is, first of all, Ichigo is basically in his full brain right now, and that's essentially where this form comes from. It is a mix of like a bunch of different particular things, but like I said, easily enough you can see that his full bring form is included in this. Not only his regular full bring, well, this is his completed full bring, but it's a mixture. It does have a combination of the boy Mugetsu Ichigo in here, Mugetsu Ichigo, full bring Ichigo, and then there's a couple things that there's some stuff that I know y'all probably figured out, but I know some of the stuff y'all didn't figure out. Who knows who this is? Who knows who this is? Who knows who this is? Okay, a lot of you guys ain't gonna know who this is, but this right here is Shiro. Shiro is the hollow that attacked Masako. Well, he attacked Ishin first, actually, but this hollow was actually created by Aizen over 100 years ago. Basically, a little bit after the Turn Back the Pendulum arc, this hollow was created. He was created by the souls of hundreds and hundreds of Soul Reapers when Aizen was experimenting with the Hogyoku. What he was doing was he was taking a piece of Shinigami's soul and he was seeing if it was compatible with the Hogyoku. So it was causing damage to the Shinigami, but he didn't care. He wanted to do this for experimental purposes. You guys will notice that he has this red, instead of having a non-filled hollow hole, his hollow hole is actually filled. It has a toxic, essentially, or a poisonous fluid that he can use to holify people. His whole entire main objective is to holify people. So Aizen created him after Shinji, Hiyori, Lisa, Hachigen, Love, and all of them were, after he did their holification experiments, he then combined a Kido cloak with Kisuke's invisible cloak that he used the night that Kisuke and Tessai tried to rescue him, tried to rescue the Vizards. And he basically masked his presence. So Ishin was sent to fight this hollow that was just decapitating regular Soul Reapers. Ishin, basically, White is he's of sentient mind. He can think for himself. He can plan strategies and stuff like that. So he fights like a Shinigami, but he has instincts like a hollow. So for instance, Ishin, he boosted his spiritual pressure up like crazy so that this hollow would want to fight him. Normally you would think hollows are attracted to high spiritual pressure, but they're attracted to high spiritual pressure on weak people, weak humans with high spiritual pressure, but not a hollow ain't just gonna run up on a captain oh yeah, he seems good. Nah, bruh. And Aizen stated for a fact that White, this hollow, he will be able to kill a captain level Shinigami that's not in his Bankai. So basically what Aizen did was he summoned Tosen to basically sneak attack Ishin. So once Ishin was fighting with White to like a stalemate, like they were just fighting, going at it, and White is super strong. Even he like smacked the ground and Ishin dodged, and he like created a bunch of destruction underneath him. But basically, Ishin gets stabbed in the back by Aizen or Kaname. I can't remember at this current second. I'm pretty sure it's Kaname. And Kaname was invisible at the time because he had that Reishi and invisibility cloak. And so that weakened Ishin. Ishin releases Zanpakuto, and then basically White kind of had like an advantage on him or whatever. I know that Ishin damaged White. If I'm not mistaken, cut his arm off. But then basically Masaki shows up, and as soon as Masaki shows up, he's drawn to her because she's a weaker spiritual presence. So then she basically launches an attack where she's luring him to her. She shoots him with the Quincy arrow, and it's basically a fatal blow. Well, what you see him doing here is he's inflating himself. Like his hollow hole right here, or where his hollow hole is supposed to be, is actually inflating so that he can seep his juices and essentially hollowify whatever individual he has deemed necessary. So this is what's called his self-destruct mode, and his whole entire existence is to hollowify a Soul Reaper. It was supposed to be a quote-unquote failed experiment because Masaki is a Quincy, and Kaname was going to kill her, but Aizen said, no, leave her alive. I want to see how this progresses. With that, then after that, basically Ishin goes to Kisuke to get a fake Gigai, and Ishin attaches himself spiritually to Masaki. So he basically goes into her subconscious, and the thing about White is that since he's broken down of hundreds of Soul Reapers, he actually is like the inner workings of a Zanpakuto. Like his being melds with your Zanpakuto. So, but with the Quincy, any hollow Reishi is volatile. Like it can kill them. It'll self-destruct them or whatever. Soul wipe them, if you will. So basically, Ishin goes into he goes to Urahara's shop. He gets a fake Gigai, and then he uses that to subconsciously plant himself into Masaki's subconscious. He then tethers a piece of himself, stopping White from like harming Masaki any further. So he left some of his spiritual energy inside Masaki, and then he ended up getting her pregnant. So that's how Ichigo has Shinigami powers from his dad, who's a noble, Ishin Shiba, and then also has hollow powers from White inside his mom, which twisted with his White's ability is similar to Zanpakuto. So he has essentially White's Zanpakuto spirit mixed with the hollow portion, and then he gets other Shinigami powers from his dad, and then Quincy powers from his mom. So this is like a whole bunch of fingers right here. So yeah, so basically that's White's whole thing. And like I said, this Ichigo has White's like sword. Like basically Ichigo is using White's his arms as like swords. Like it looks it's exactly the same. Like there's actually no difference from one to the other. So that is basically the form. And my main question is, how strong do you think this Ichigo is in like the canon, right? Because essentially what I'm getting out of his power level is that he's like before Thousand Year Blood War. But at the same time, you gotta think about it. If Ichigo used Mugetsu at another time, then that would have completely changed the story. The whole purpose of the Fullbringer arc was for Ichigo to get his powers back. You know what I mean? So the only time Ichigo has ever had black hair is when he's in Mugetsu. Now his hair isn't quite as long as Mugetsu, but it's definitely longer than Ichigo's regular hair. Another thing as well to know with this guy is you see that he has the triple, like the triple cloak jumping off here. Like it's separated in three pieces. You got the one piece up, you got one to the right, one to the left, and then one in the middle. And that's exactly how this Ichigo is displayed as well. He has three separate pieces, one to the right, one to the left, and then one to the middle. Also, something that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys notice is the similarities between him and Kugo Ginjo. Ginjo has like, he basically look, his chest and the back of his wings look like Ginjo because he has like these red and black like Getsuga wispy kind of wings or whatever, and it looks very 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 similar to Ginjo. You know, with that being said, the Ichigo is incredibly god tier as far as his design. And guys, like, man, like, who do you think drew this stuff beside Kubo? Like, in the Bankai live stream, it was mentioned that it was approved by Kubo, but we don't know how deep that was. We saw lots of concepts and sketches. I don't think this is coming from anyone's mind except Kubo. Like, who on Bleach Brave Soul is just like, oh yeah, we should just put White, you know, the hollow from that from the manga that 90% of the people haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like who would have thought to actually put, you know what I mean, that character in with this Ichigo. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, man, I don't think anybody aside from Kubo himself would have been able to pull that off, man. Like, the way the character is designed, like just the character is just beautiful, man. And like I said, the art and the design is really like upper echelon. Bleach has always been mega tier as far as, you know, media and anime and stuff like that, and like how incredible the art and presentation are. I'll just give you guys real quick, I know a lot of you guys already saw this, but we'll go ahead and take a look at this Ichigo. Hopefully it's not too, oh yeah, it's super loud. Yeah, oh yeah. So quick here, just one more time. Just notice a couple of details here. I'll just play it in slow motion. If it'll let me. Alright. Just a couple of details here. And like I said, man, you know, I mean, bro, like, who's coming up with something like this aside Kubo Sensei, bro? Like, I just can't even see it happening. But so basically he talks about this. This is similar to what he said versus Byakuya. You know, he's like the only thing I have left to do is compress all of my spiritual energy into one attack. He then waves his sword, and as you could see, that was White's Zanpakuto, or White's, yeah, I'll just say Zanpakuto. Right there, you see his Zangetsu scabbard, very reminiscent of when Ichigo was using it in the Fullbringer arc. And then he just comes in, lays a special, and then bam, that's pretty much it. It does go off in that streak of white, but absolutely, man. Like, where do you guys think that this character, you know, stands up in like the canon of the manga? Like, of course, if he's Dangai, he's going to be stronger than you know, he's going to be stronger than most forms of Ichigo, but not the 1,000-year blow war variation. So I guess that's pretty much it about Ichigo. We can actually go ahead and move on to the homeboy Byakuya. We can talk about Byakuya really quickly because there is some actual inspiration from where his art comes from as well. Some people may know it, some people may not, but I'm going to go ahead and get you guys hip right now. So Byakuya's art is absolutely magnificent. It is obviously his Shukehaku Tekken form, but there's also a little twist to where there was this episode in the anime where Byakuya was like sending off Renji. I don't remember that specific episode, but I know that I've seen several screenshots, and this is where it's from. So if you can see, like, hang on a second, I can actually do this a little bit better for you guys. If you can see here, right, you see that he has like these little like drapey things kind of going around him or whatever. Let me get the tunes back in here. You see he has like these drapey kind of like bead things, and then right here he has like the same thing. So like I said, very reminiscent to that. And of course his Shuke Haku Tekken form, which like I said, that's pretty much all common knowledge. We all know and understand this. But the thing is that Byakuya, it explicitly says that he's reaching for new heights. So to me, this could be something like Byakuya after the 1,000-year blower, because we didn't see him use Senkei or Shukahaku Tekken. We never saw him use that in the 1,000-year blow arc. So maybe after he had Soul Palace training, this is what Shukahaku Tekken would look like, because it was already to the point where his Shikai resembled his Bankai, meaning he had enhanced manipulation with his flower petals and all that stuff. But this, some people are calling this Sage of 6 mode, Sage of 6 path mode Byakuya, because he looks like that he has a like little kind of fastener of like kind of the Sage of 6 path. But yeah, like I said, this Byakuya design, man, if you guys really think that Kubo didn't draw this shit out by hand, bro, I don't know, bro. Like, I would say you got to be damn crazy. The shading, the color, how it's filled, like just the overall rawness, like the combination, and like what this means to the actual series is that, bro, we could, let's say we could get a Toshiro reaching for new heights. You know, what if we get a new Toshiro? What if we get a new Kenpachi? This pretty much opens up the door for Bleach Brave Souls. And if you guys remember, first round third year Ukiura, he was a premium character, but then that opened the door to like Beyond Resurrection of Spada. So maybe we get a series of Beyond Glorious Captain. So you really don't know, but where do you guys think that this Ichigo would fit in the series? Fullbring. Ichigo is he was about 10 to 15% stronger with his realized Bankai and Fullbring and with his Shikai and Fullbring. So Mugetsu would be about 10 to 25% stronger because he could control his actual spiritual energy. That was the whole key of Ichigo's Fullbring training, was for him to control his spiritual energy. Before that, he could sense spirit energy really well, but he couldn't harness his own spiritual energy. So how strong do you think this Ichigo would be in the canon of the series? Whether you want to call him fully realized Bankai, Fullbring, or whether you want to call him Mugetsu, or Fullbring Mugetsu, which I think that's a bit more appropriate. Like I said, Ichigo never, ever, ever had black hair, any form, any time in this series, other than Mugetsu, the final Getsuga Tensho. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and like I said, I'll link all my other stuff right around here. And yeah, man, make sure you go to my Bleach discussion series. The playlist will be linked up there. And yeah, man, let me know how strong you think this character will be and how hype you are for the particular characters. I went ahead and did stats and skills in every other video for the anniversary, so all that stuff will be linked up top as well. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Prophet Nation. Until next time, I do love y'all, but I'm out.